Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Lands of Ice Challenge. And we are here, thankfully, with the god Yuki, who has decided to make a reborn reappearance as a wanderer in this tribe, answering some of the prayers of our previous generation's nichelings that hopefully their children would be able to flee the island before the ice took over and we reached the 20th day of the challenge, basically, and send them forward without being lost to the ice. And Yuki arrived. It was amazing. You guys definitely need to check out the previous episodes if you are curious about what went on. If you are wondering what the challenge is, look in the video description. I have all of the rules listed there, and there should be a nifty link to the amazing wiki that we are working on, which has lots of niche information, but you guys should know that by now. So we are going to pick up exactly where we left off, having just realized that devastatingly we did lose one of our nichelings. I was really hoping that port was an 8-strong port, but it was only a 7-strong port. And so we did actually end up losing, oh gosh, we lost a Nuar. No, not a Nuar. Oh my gosh, she's not even listed anymore. We lost Kuar's older sister, who had been raised her whole life prepared for the duty and the challenge of helping out the tribe to survive, of fleeing the encroaching ice. I can only imagine that Kuar's older sister sacrificed herself to make sure that the youngest could go. I could just see the ice breaking and cracking as they walked across that ice bridge. Yuki trying to subtly hurry them along. He's not a big talker, the god Yuki, just in case you guys were wondering. That changes when he's in his female form, Lala, just for the record. He's quite the talker and pretty bossy when he's in his female form, Lala, but as his male form, Yuki, he doesn't really speak, almost to the point where it does a detriment to the tribe because he fails to give them direction. But he was subtly trying to hurry them along, getting our pregnant Juniper across the way. I don't think she has ever given birth yet. She has not given birth yet. The daughter of a rogue that we took in, whose mate is Kale, and hopefully their children will have the purr snout that he has the recessive of. So they haven't yet had their child. And Yuki desperately guided along our nichelings to this island, but I can only imagine Kuar's older sister, as the ice broke under their feet, was lost to the cold waves and to the ice and the blizzard that no doubt rushed them along, and we don't have her anymore. And I'm really sad about that because she was really cool. She spent her young life helping to hunt bunnels with her father, Kakuku, and I thought she was going to be a great guide for her sister and she was going to be a mate for Duktata, but now we don't have any of that, and I'm just kind of sad about it. But we need to recover from that and we need to move on. So the tribe has to get off this island by day 40. So they have 19 days to flee. I have decided that when we have an albino nicheling here, we can kind of hold off leaving the island as long as we're purposely moving to get off of it, with the idea that they're sort of using their powers to hold back the ice from killing the nichelings who need to leave. But we have to sacrifice the difference on the next island. So for instance, if we had stayed for like 25 days, we'd only have 15 days on this island. So at some point, like if it took us too many days to get all the way, because the next ice port is all the way over here. So if we did have an albino nicheling in the tribe, then we could stay for like another 20 days is up. But then the next island, like if we stayed on this island, for instance, until day 39, and well, actually it would need to be like until like day... Okay, basically what I'm saying is we are punished for the time we lollygag. When we leave to the next island, we will sacrifice the extra days that we spent trying to hold off the ice on this island. And if we do not have enough time to flee the difference, to like if we cannot make it for some reason to this island in 19 days, then no more holding back and we're doomed. So we do have to absolutely get off this island. We can't just keep stacking that. That would be ridiculous. And really bend my rules. But anyway, I'm terrible with math, so we will not dwell on trying to watch Seri do math. It's a painful process anymore. The last thing I wanted to note before we get started is that I have started noting which family group all of our nichelings are in, because we do have a punishment in this tribe for breeding siblings. If we have direct siblings breeding, then we have to have like an infertility. Like, for instance, if I had Ismiri and Duktata become mates because they both happen to have the recessive hammertail, then in their mutation menu I would have to put infertile, I would have to put deformed paw or derp snout or blind eyes, but definitely infertile, and then one of those other negative traits that their child could possibly end up having as a punishment for having direct siblings breed, which I think is fair since the prehistoric genes are supposed to be really hard to get. We may actually try that, but with the heat body, because Kale also has heat body. Is he a half sibling of? And I think he's a half sibling. So if they're half siblings, yeah, he is actually only a half sibling. So if they're half siblings, then you only have to have one negative icon each. Or since he has used up both of his mutations and I cannot change them, we might say that she would have to have both of those negative traits if we let her breed with her brother. And then their child would still have hopefully similar odds. So anyway, yeah, that was painful a little bit watching me do math. Let's move on to the story, and I will just take care of the math things in the background. Just be reassured that I am trying to follow my rules and tweaking things to make sure we do so appropriate to the story. But we now have different gemstone colors to denote the different family groups each nicheling is from. So if I glance over, I can tell, okay, Ismiri cannot take one of her brothers. She has 3 brothers. She cannot take any of her brothers as mate unless I want to give them those negative genes, but she could breed with Yuki. And I can glance over and see, oh, Juniper and Kuar are not related to any of the males because they're in a different family group. So they could mate with anybody and I don't have to worry about giving them negative traits. So I'm going to try to keep that up just to keep it simpler. So we'll work on that. And I have rambled too long. Moving along, Yuki is a little desperate, or not desperate, but he is a little devastated that we did lose such a healthy and courageous young female that he was really hoping would be able to make it. The ice even defies the will of the ice god at times, but we have to move on. And now that we have sacrificed a day's time already, we have to be even more careful and thoughtful with what we do on this island. And with so many young nichelings and a pregnant nicheling and unsure, just one other adult male, like in one very exhausted adult female in the tribe, Yuki feels that they need more help. And so using his sense, he spreads his senses across the island and has located the next prehistoric nicheling hiding inside of this alcove. Knowing what needs to be done, Yuki is going to tell Synthri, who is a very fast nicheling and quite young with no attachments, that he needs to zip along the side of the beach, and he needs to make it over to this iceberg, crack it open, and bring back the prehistoric nicheling that is there so that they can have even more strength to the tribe. And to the rest of the tribe, there is this bounty of food that has washed up along the shoreline that he will encourage them to gather from, for the young ones at least. But we definitely need to have Juniper, who has a cold and who is pregnant, have her child. So that is going to be like the first 3 things that he's going to have them do. He will teach Kuar to fight against the leeches. And little Ismi, she's too young to defend herself from leeches. Oh my goodness, Ismi, you step over. Oh, she got leeched. Did she get leeched? Who got leeched? Who got leeched? Oh my goodness, it was Kuar. Okay, and Kuar got leeched, so I think Yuki would just calmly kind of like collect these leeches, and he's like, yeah, welcome. And teach Kuar how to eat from those shells down there. And then we're gonna have little Duktata. Are there any birds overhead? Not yet. So he will have Duktata start moving about to try to help collect, there we go, enough nesting material. Juniper cannot build a nest here, so she's gonna go ahead, can she smell any roots? Ooh, there's a few roots over there, so she can get a good snack. She's gonna jump over here. She's gonna build a nest and she's going to purr to, I hope she can heal herself. I'm really worried she can't heal herself and she's going to die soon. That would be very upsetting. Sentry has another leech. Kale will help out with removing that. And now Sentry is going to rush along. Oh, did he just get bitten again? Was that Yuki? Oh, gross. And Kale is just gonna pick that leech off. So we're having a feast of leeches is like the first thing we're doing on this island. I cannot believe that. And meanwhile, Sentry has found another, we can't clear away any grass that's not regrowable grass as part of the challenge. It's just too tough to survive the strong icy climate that has developed. The grass is adapted and is too difficult for us to break apart. But Sentry will continue on with his rush. Oh no, a leech! And he's gonna be bleached, which might be bad. I probably should have sent him inland. And then let's go ahead and have Kale jump over to his mate. Ah, dang it, now we got bleached. I'm gonna have to figure out what I'm gonna do about that. I might send Aismiri after Sentry. But alright, so Kale is over by his mate. She is sick. Hopefully she will recover. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like she gets her own healing abilities because we need a different purr-snouted nicheling. I hope she survives. Juniper? Whoa, okay, we have the common cold going, but we survived! Juniper had a purr-snouted son. Oh my gosh, he's so pretty. He looks just like a tabby cat. Wow, let's take a look at you, little guy. He has got that beautiful mask pattern. He has got recessive spike body. He has got recessive stinky tail and violet eyes and bird beak of all things. And Juniper's healed, but she only has 1 day left to live. Oh my gosh. And we don't have enough nesting material. Oh, I want her to have one more baby, but is there enough nest? Oh my gosh. I don't even see a nest. Oh dear. Alright, so we're gonna have to work on figuring out what to do about that. This may be Juniper's only child, which would be quite sad, but at least he has purr-snout, which is pretty exciting. I think I'm gonna go ahead. He has her, like, deep eyes, those deep black dark eyes as well. I'm gonna name him, maybe Oak? Like, we have Juniper and Kale and, Oak. I kind of want to name him, like, just Oak, maybe like a bird, Oak Wren, Oak Hawk. That sounds like a warrior cat name, but it's probably because I'm looking at his little purr-snout. I'm gonna go ahead and name him, Oak Hawk? Maybe Oak Glen. Yeah, or, let's go with Oak. There, no, that sounds like Ugg, like a prehistoric name. All right, we're gonna go with Oak Ice, or we'll go with Oak Glen. I kind of like that, little Oak Glen, because there's like a glen of oaks over here. So, all right, that's gonna be his name. One of my animals is bleeding. Unfortunately, Sentry has been bitten. I guess Aismi can go and follow along to get the prehistoric nicheling. We're gonna have to figure out what the heck we're gonna do about that. It's dangerous to go along the beaches. Let's bring Sentry back and we'll go up and over. I think that's a more sensible. He got bitten and panicked and rushed back to Yuki for advice. Aismi is gonna go ahead and heal him up. And I think Yuki will just kind of like nod slowly and be like, well then, go over the mountain. So he's headed that way. Let's go ahead and have little Kuar. She's figuring out how to gather the shells. So she can be right there. She's about to get bitten by a leech, but she's kind of learning to endure it because it brings in a lot of food. And then Kale, can you find, oh my gosh, okay, so there's food, which is exciting. And I think Tuktata would dive after it. Oh no, and he's gonna get bleached. Is there a nest? Oh, I am so sad. I don't think there's going to be a nest. Kale is like desperately trying to gather nesting material. Juniper, I think, is just going to kind of purr some lullabies with her child. Oh, I just made myself so sad saying that. But she's going to purr some lullabies to her first and only child, Oak Glen, who's going to be, I'm so sad. who's gonna have no mother in just a second because of that accursed cold that one of the Tata descendants gave us. Duke Tata now has a leech that we have to deal with, and Yuki, there we go, he got that leech. I'm so sad about that. We should probably get away from all these leeches. So I think Yuki's gonna start guiding everyone over now that the little baby has been born. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna miss her. I'm gonna miss her so much. Juniper, what am I gonna do without you? I'm down to just Kuwar and Ice Me as my females. Oh no, Yuki might have to take them as a mate. Okay, the next move definitely is getting up and over the mountain and seeing what is in that prehistoric iceberg. Oh, I was not ready for that. I was totally not ready for that. Oh my gosh. Juniper, rest in peace. I'm gonna miss her so much. Okay. Alright, let's do this. There's definitely a heavy moment of mourning. I think that Kale would be extremely upset. Let me double check though, because Ice Me is his sibling. She does have heat body. It would be really useful to have more of that going on in the family. I'm not gonna lie. And she is not direct siblings with Oak Glen. I think I decided as long as they're not direct siblings, they can become mates. So Oak Glen, I'm gonna actually give you your mother's icon to inherit. Pink, do I have anybody with pink? Yellow, I have someone with yellow. Orange, I do not have anyone with orange. So he's gonna have orange icons. So he could mate with whoever too, but we'll worry about that later. He's a baby. His mother just passed away. It's sad. All right, we're gonna gather up this food. Duke Tata will come over here. We do need to pluck that off and heal him up, and we do need to kind of protect the baby. So little Oak Glen will be guarded by his father. Holy new child! What is happening here? Oh my gosh, who are you? Oh my goodness gracious, new Ronu with E immunity. Now that would be kind of useful. Not really any other useful traits, but you know what? Here he is, a young orphaned baby. I think that Kale would want to adopt him, like, and just take him as a second son. The second son that he and Juniper were never able to have. Oh my gosh, yes. So we're gonna do that. All right, and let's work with Sentry still. There we go. I had a feeling that little guy would come close. So there we go. We just adopted a second son, new Roro, new Ronu, which I think we're going to call him little, let's see, we have Oak, and then, let's name him, I kind of want to name him Apple, just for the heck of it, but he's sort of striped. Well, he is striped, not just sort of striped. I need my nicheling name list. Oh, I haven't pulled that up in donkey days. That would actually be a really convenient thing to pull up right now. So I think I need to start building the nicheling name list again, you guys. So I'm gonna start needing your names again. And maybe we'll make a fresh nicheling name list and just kind of like dust it off and get ready for good stuff. He has little bee and tiger stripes. I think we're gonna name him Tigar, which I think we've had some Tigars in the past, but I kind of like that name. Because it reminds me of the Tiger River, and he's going to be adopted by Kale, who is still in his mourning and misses his mate. All right, and meanwhile, let's have Sentry just carry on with trying to break through the mountain. So he's kind of leading the way, and Yuki is indicating we should follow him. There is some food here though, and Kuwara's not going to turn down that food, but she can actually get nuts. So rather than go into the icy, dangerous waters, she will jump this way, and we will have her start collecting up those nuts. And actually, Ice Miri can help out with nut collecting as well. And there is a tree over there. I think that she's kind of a tiny bit adventurous, and we'll send her along to go with her brother Sentry as well. They both have heat body, but so does Duke Tata. F and I immunity, A and I, A and D. Yeah, she wouldn't really be a good mate. We'll worry about that in a little bit. Alright, meanwhile, the god Yuki will bring up the rear, and he will gather up twigs. Oh, we should probably gather up, and he'll collect up the nest as a very formal, humble way of saying goodbye to Juniper, who I am gonna miss so much. But I can't believe a new baby popped up out of the blue to help Kale be distracted from his mourning. So alright guys, I know that was a little bit of a slow start, but holy cow, things are moving quickly. Now you guys know some tweaks I have made. We will subtract the days that we spend holding off the ice if we have an albino nicheling in the tribe to help that tribe survive, but then they have to leave the next island even sooner. I'm gonna miss Juniper so freaking much. She actually became one of my favorite nichelings that we have had yet. She just was so sweet, and her story, I mean, the child of a rogue, that was quite dramatic. And I really hope that Kale will be able to kind of quiet the sorrow he feels by taking on this new little orphan as a child of his own. But I am concerned because we are currently not displaying any of those prehistoric genes, and we need to get that Hammertail back in there. But is Hammertail what is awaiting us inside of this iceberg? We will have to find out next time. So alright, thank you guys so much. If you could, do please leave a like to toss a tasty treat to our nichelings. And if you enjoyed this and would like to join us for literally thousands more adventures and some niche streams, hopefully pretty darn freaking soon, then do please consider subscribing, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye!